What if I told you the first words you speak to yourself each morning can decide whether today feels heavy and stressful or calm, clear, and meaningful? Most of us wake up and let yesterday's worries control us. But the truth is, your morning mindset is the secret switch that sets the tone for everything that follows. And here's the part nobody tells you. You don't need hours of meditation or a perfect life to shift it. You just need the right 5 truths. 5 simple sentences to remind yourself who you really are and where your peace comes from. Stay with me until the end, because once you hear these, you'll carry them into your day, and they might just change the way you wake up forever. And now, let us begin with the very first one. The hidden truth about peace. Why the world can't give it to you. What if I told you that the peace you've been searching for, in success, in approval, in the hope that life will finally calm down, was never really out there? True peace, the kind that endures no matter what happens, already lives within your own heart and mind. This may sound simple, even too simple, but it's the deepest truth you can carry with you. And once you realize it, your life changes forever. Why does this matter so much? Because most of us tie our sense of calm to things we cannot control. If people treat us kindly, if work goes well, if our plans unfold smoothly, then we feel at ease. But what happens when life doesn't go our way? Suddenly, peace disappears. That's why so many people live in constant tension, always at the mercy of the outside world. The Buddha once said, "No one saves us but ourselves. We ourselves must walk the path in the same way. No one can hand you peace. It isn't a gift you wait for. It is a decision you make, again and again, moment by moment." So how do you begin to live this truth? Start small. Imagine someone speaks harshly to you. In that instant, you cannot control their words, but you can control whether you carry their anger inside or let it dissolve in silence. That pause, that breath, is everything. It's the space where reaction turns into response, where chaos turns into clarity. With practice, your mind becomes like the still center of a storm. The winds may rage, the world may shake, but you remain steady. And here's the beauty. Your inner peace doesn't just protect you, it touches others too. People will notice your calm presence, and in a world full of noise and conflict, that calm is magnetic. Each morning, place your hand on your heart and whisper, "My peace does not come from the outside world. It comes from me. I am the one who decides my response." Repeat it until it becomes your truth. Because when your peace is rooted inside, nothing outside can ever take it away. Secondly, you are the author of today's story. Every morning, before the world pulls you in 100 directions, you are handed a blank page. The question is, who will write today's story? Will it be shaped by stress, by other people's moods, by random events you cannot control, or will it be written by you? The truth is simple, yet powerful. You are the author of today's meaning. Why does this matter? Because if you don't claim that role, the day will be written for you. Think about it. A difficult email arrives, and suddenly your whole mood collapses. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and your energy is hijacked for hours. Without realizing it, you've handed the pen of your day to others. But when you remember that meaning comes from within, you take that pen back. You decide that one setback doesn't define the entire day. You decide that kindness is stronger than irritation. You decide what matters most. That choice is the difference between a day lost to chaos and a day filled with purpose. So how do you practice this? Start with a simple morning intention. Place your hand on your heart and whisper, "I am the author of today's story." As the day unfolds, notice the small moments when you feel pulled off course. Instead of reacting automatically, pause and ask yourself, what story do I want to tell right now? Maybe it's the story of patience when your child is slow to get ready. Maybe it's the story of resilience when a plan falls apart. Each choice is like writing a new line in your book. Over time, you'll notice that you no longer feel like a victim of circumstance. You feel like the creator of your own experience. And here's the beauty. When you write your day with awareness, you inspire others to do the same. Your calm becomes their calm. Your clarity becomes their mirror. It all starts with remembering each morning that the pen is in your hand. So hold on to this truth and stay with me, because in the next part, I'll share more lessons that will help you live with balance, strength, and a peace that no one can take away. Thirdly, your body, mind, and heart deserve deep respect. So often, we move through life as if our worth depends only on what we achieve, how much we produce, or whether we meet other people's expectations. We live in a culture that celebrates constant doing but rarely pauses to honor simple being. And in that rush, we forget something essential. Your body, your mind, and your heart are not tools to be used up. They are sacred companions that deserve respect and care. Why does this matter? Because when we forget to honor ourselves, life becomes a cycle of exhaustion. The body carries stress it was never meant to hold. The mind spins in overdrive, chasing worries and comparisons. The heart grows heavy under layers of judgment. I'm not enough, I should be better, I must do more. This is not just fatigue, it is self-neglect. And over time, neglect turns into disconnection. We lose touch with our own vitality, our creativity, our joy. Buddhist teachings remind us that everything is interdependent. The body influences the mind influences the heart, and the heart influences how we experience the world. To neglect one is to harm the whole. Respect, then, is not vanity, it is balance. When you treat your body as worthy of rest, your mind clears. When you nourish your mind with wise thoughts, your heart softens. When your heart is open, the whole world feels lighter. Consider this. The body you have carried through every challenge is still here, breathing for you without demand. The mind that sometimes criticizes you is also capable of insight and wonder. The heart that has felt pain is also the same heart that loves, forgives, and begins again. What if, instead of measuring yourself by what you lack, you paused to honor this incredible partnership within you? In practice, this respect is less about grand gestures and more about gentle choices. Resting when you are tired instead of pushing through. Speaking kindly to yourself when mistakes happen. Choosing food, words, and thoughts that bring vitality rather than depletion. Even a single deep breath, taken with awareness, is an act of respect. These are small shifts, but each one whispers the same message. I am worthy of care. And something beautiful happens when you live this way. Self-respect becomes a quiet strength. You no longer look to the outside world for constant validation because you've learned to validate yourself. People around you notice, not because you announce it, but because your presence carries steadiness. You become someone who moves with dignity, not because life is perfect, but because you've built harmony from the inside out. This truth is simple, but not easy. Many of us have spent years believing that self-worth must be earned, not remembered. Yet every morning, you are invited to return to yourself and affirm, "My body, my mind, and my heart deserve to be respected." Not because you achieved something today, but because your existence itself is enough. When you live from this place of respect, you will find that even challenges feel different. Stress may visit, but it no longer consumes you. Doubts may appear, but they don't define you. Your body, mind, and heart become a sanctuary, a place you can always return to. Furthermore, becoming a source of peace for the world around you. Imagine walking into a room where everyone is rushing. Voices are raised, tension hangs heavy in the air. One person enters quietly, calm, steady, unshaken, and suddenly the atmosphere begins to shift. That person may not say much, but their very presence changes everything. This is the power of being a source of peace. When we think of peace, we often imagine it as something personal, a state of inner calm we guard for ourselves. But true peace is not meant to be locked away. It radiates. Just as fear spreads quickly, so does calm. Just as anger can infect a room, so can compassion. You carry this influence whether you realize it or not. Every word, every look, every breath contributes to the energy around you. Why does this matter? Because the world is full of noise, conflict, and unspoken pain. People are tired. Many are fighting silent battles. When you choose to embody peace, you don't just protect yourself. You offer a quiet refuge to everyone who crosses your path. It is a gift far greater than you may ever see, because often you won't realize how deeply your calm steadiness touched someone else's day. Becoming that source doesn't mean you never feel stress or frustration. It means you refuse to let those emotions spill over and poison the world around you. It's about catching yourself in the moment, when irritation rises, when chaos knocks, and remembering, I can choose to bring peace instead of adding more noise. Even a gentle tone in the middle of an argument or a patient pause in traffic can shift the energy of the situation. The beauty of this practice is that it lifts not only others, but also yourself. The more you focus on radiating peace outward, the stronger your own inner calm becomes. You find that your heart feels lighter, your relationships smoother, and your days more meaningful. You realize that peace is not a private possession. It's a living current, flowing through you into the world. So, as you move through today, hold this truth. I will be a source of peace for the world around me. Let it guide the way you speak, the way you listen, the way you simply walk into a room. Because when you embody peace, you remind others that they can find it too. And the last, peace that cannot be taken away. Most of us grow up believing that peace depends on what happens around us. If people are kind, if work is smooth, if life feels stable, then we can finally rest. But the truth is, the outside world will always be unpredictable. If your peace depends on circumstances, it will vanish the moment something shifts. Real peace must be rooted somewhere deeper, within your own heart and mind. This inner peace is not something fragile. It is a strength that grows when you realize, I am the only one who decides my response. Think of a storm. The winds may roar, trees may bend, rain may pound the earth, yet in the very center is the I, still, untouched, calm. That stillness exists in you too. Life may swirl with noise, but you can return again and again to that quiet center inside. Does this mean you will never feel anger, fear, or sadness? Of course not. These emotions are part of being human, but you are not a prisoner to them. You can notice anger arise and say gently, "This is anger, but it is not who I am." In that pause, you reclaim your freedom. You choose clarity over reaction, steadiness over chaos. Each time you practice this, your inner calm becomes stronger, like a muscle trained through repetition. And something beautiful happens. People around you begin to feel it too. They may not know why, but your steadiness gives them permission to slow down, to breathe, to find their own calm. Your peace becomes a quiet gift to the world. So each morning, place your hand on your heart and remind yourself, "My peace does not come from the outside world. It comes from me. I am the one who decides my response." Carry this truth into your day, and you'll discover a freedom no one can ever take away. As we close, let's pause and remember the 5 truths we've explored together. First, today I choose love, not fear. Every morning you plant the seed of love and fear begins to loosen its grip. Second, I am the author of today's story. No one else holds the pen. You decide the meaning of each moment. Third, my body, my mind, and my heart deserve respect, not because of what you achieve, but simply because you are alive. Fourth, I will be a source of peace for the world around me. Your presence alone can be the calm in someone else's storm. And finally, my peace does not come from the outside world, but from within. That inner stillness is the freedom no one can ever take away. 5 truths, 5 gentle reminders, 5 ways to live each day with clarity, strength, and compassion. They are not just words, they are practices, seeds you carry into your morning and let grow throughout your day. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 truths speaks to you the most right now? Which one do you feel called to carry into tomorrow morning? Share your reflections in the comments. I'll be reading them, and your words may inspire someone else who needs to hear them too. And if today's message gave you even a spark of peace or clarity, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who could use a little light, and subscribe so you won't miss the next one. Together, we can keep building a community where peace and kindness ripple outward, one morning at a time.